6 signs you are a very strong woman, and why no one can shake you. What does it really mean to be a strong woman? Some people think strength is about being loud, aggressive, or always in control. Others believe it's about being tough, never showing emotion, and handling everything alone. But the truth is, real strength is much deeper than that. It's not about how much you can physically carry or how well you can hide your feelings. It's about how you carry yourself in the face of life's toughest moments. Think about the most resilient, unshakable women you've ever met. They aren't the ones who shout the loudest or demand attention. They're the ones who remain calm under pressure, who don't break when life throws challenges their way. They have a quiet, undeniable presence, an inner strength that doesn't need validation from anyone else. And that kind of strength, it's built on wisdom, self-awareness, and the ability to stay steady no matter what happens. That's where Stoic philosophy comes in. Stoicism isn't about shutting off emotions or pretending bad things don't happen. It's about developing the mental toughness to handle whatever comes your way. The ancient Stoics believed that real power comes from mastering yourself, from learning to control your reactions. Focus on what truly matters, and let go of the things you can't change. And if you look closely, you'll see that some of the strongest women in history and today naturally live by these principles, whether they realize it or not. But here's the thing. Strength isn't something you're simply born with. It's something you build. Every decision you make, every reaction you choose, every obstacle you face at all, shapes the kind of woman you become. And whether you realize it or not, you might already be stronger than you think. So, how do you know if you're truly strong? What are the signs that you've developed the kind of inner power that Stoic philosophers admired, the kind that makes you unshakable, independent, and wise? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. If you relate to these 6 signs, you're already walking the path of a truly strong woman. And if some of them don't quite resonate with you yet, don't worry, because strength isn't just who you are. Sign 1. You control your emotions, they don't control you. Let's be real, life throws all kinds of challenges your way. People will test your patience. Unexpected problems will come out of nowhere. There will be moments when you feel like everything is falling apart. And in those moments, most people react on impulse. They lash out in anger, shut down in frustration, or let their emotions dictate their next move. But a strong woman, she doesn't let her emotions control her. She controls them. Now, this doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. You're human, after all. But it does mean that your emotions don't rule your life. You don't make impulsive decisions based on temporary feelings. You don't let frustration, sadness, or anger push you into actions you'll regret later. Instead, you pause, you breathe, you think. You ask yourself, is this reaction going to serve me? Is it going to bring me closer to the life I want? Or is it just a moment of weakness trying to take over? This idea comes straight from Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that emotions themselves aren't the problem. It's how you handle them that matters. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." In other words, it's not what happens that makes you lose control. It's how you choose to see it. And a truly strong woman understands this. She doesn't let a bad day turn into a bad week. She doesn't let one negative comment shake her confidence. She doesn't let temporary emotions push her into making permanent mistakes. Instead, she practices emotional discipline. She recognizes her feelings, but she doesn't let them define her actions. And because of this, she moves through life with grace, resilience, and a sense of calm that other people admire but rarely understand. Think about it. How often do you see people letting their emotions run their lives? How often do people say or do things in the heat of the moment that they later regret? A strong woman avoids this cycle. She trains herself to respond rather than react. She knows that true power isn't in shouting the loudest or being the most dramatic. It's in staying steady when everything else feels chaotic. And when you master this, you become unstoppable, because no matter what happens, no matter who tries to bring you down, no matter what challenges come your way, you remain in control, and that is a rare and powerful thing. Sign 2. You don't seek validation from others. How many times have you caught yourself wondering what other people think of you, worrying if they approve of your choices, holding back from doing something just because you're afraid of being judged? It's natural to want to be liked, to want recognition, to crave approval. But a strong woman, she doesn't need outside validation to know her worth. She trusts herself. This doesn't mean she ignores feedback or refuses to listen to others. It simply means that at the end of the day, she doesn't let the opinions of others dictate her life. And she isn't afraid to stand alone if it means staying true to herself. The Stoics had a word for this kind of independence, autarkia, or self-sufficiency. They believed that real strength comes from within, not from external praise or approval. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Think about that. You live every single moment inside your own mind. You know your thoughts, your dreams, your struggles better than anyone else. So why should the opinions of people who only see a fraction of your life have so much control over you? A strong woman doesn't let them. She respects herself enough to make decisions based on her own values, not based on what will impress others. And you can see this kind of confidence in every aspect of her life. She doesn't dress a certain way just to fit in. She wears what makes her feel good. She doesn't follow trends or chase approval. She moves in the direction that aligns with her goals. She doesn't need a constant stream of compliments to feel beautiful, because she knows her worth isn't defined by how others see her, but by how she sees herself. This level of self-trust isn't easy to build. Society constantly pushes women to seek external validation, to be liked, to be admired, to meet expectations that aren't even their own. But a strong woman learns to break free from that. She learns to value her own opinion just as much, if not more, than anyone else's. And when she does, she becomes untouchable. Because when you no longer need validation from others, you gain the ultimate freedom, the ability to live life entirely on your own terms. Sign 3. You accept what you can't control. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much you plan, how hard you try, or how carefully you prepare, there will always be things that slip through your fingers. People will disappoint you. Unexpected challenges will arise. Sometimes, life just won't go the way you wanted it to. And while most people struggle against this, wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable, a strong woman does something different. She accepts it. Now let's be clear. Acceptance doesn't mean weakness. It doesn't mean giving up or letting life walk all over you. It means understanding the difference between what you can change and what you can't. And when something is truly outside of your control, you don't waste time fighting it. You don't let it consume you. You adapt. You adjust. You move forward. This mindset comes from one of the most powerful Stoic principles, amor fati, which means love of fate. The idea is simple. Instead of resisting what happens, you embrace it, even when it's painful, even when it's not what you expected. Because every challenge, every setback, every moment of difficulty, it's all shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone completely fall apart over something they couldn't control? Maybe they lost a job, and instead of looking for new opportunities, they spent months blaming the world. Maybe a relationship ended, and instead of healing, they held on to bitterness. They let their pain take over. They let life break them. But a strong woman, she refuses to be a victim of circumstance. She doesn't waste time dwelling on the what-ifs. She doesn't hold grudges against things she can't change. Instead, she focuses on what she can do. If a door closes, she looks for another one to open. If life throws her off track, she finds a new path. She doesn't just survive hardships, she grows from them. This kind of acceptance gives her a rare kind of peace. While other people get stuck in frustration, she keeps moving. While others get lost in self-pity, she finds solutions, and because of this, she becomes unshakable. No storm can break her, because she doesn't fight the storm, she learns to navigate it. So ask yourself, do you waste energy trying to control things that are out of your hands? Or do you have the wisdom to let go and focus on what truly matters? Because the moment you learn to accept rather than resist is the moment you become truly free. Sign 4. Fear is a natural instinct. It's what keeps you safe, what warns you of danger, what makes you hesitate before taking risks. But here's the thing. Fear can either control you, or you can learn to control it. And a strong woman, she refuses to let fear hold her back. Courage doesn't mean you don't feel fear. It means you move forward despite it. It means looking at a challenge, whether it's a difficult decision, an uncertain future, or a risk that could change everything, and choosing to face it anyway. The Stoics believed that courage, or Andrea, was one of the highest virtues. Because without courage, you stay stuck. You avoid risks. You settle for less than you deserve. But when you have courage, you step into your power. You do things even when they scare you. You refuse to let fear dictate your life. Think about some of the strongest women in history: leaders, pioneers, trailblazers. Do you think they were never afraid? Of course they were. But they didn't let fear stop them. They stepped into the unknown, took risks, and faced their challenges head-on. A strong woman understands that growth happens outside of her comfort zone. She knows that every time she chooses courage over fear, she becomes stronger, wiser, and more resilient. She doesn't wait for the perfect moment to take action, because she knows that moment doesn't exist. She doesn't let the fear of failure keep her from trying, because she understands that failure is just a stepping stone to success. And here's the truth: fear never truly goes away. But the more you face it, the less power it has over you. And one day, you'll look back at all the things you once thought you couldn't do, and you'll realize you were strong enough all along. So ask yourself, or do you stand tall, take a deep breath, and move forward anyway? Because courage isn't something you're born with. It's something you choose. And a strong woman, she chooses courage every single time. Sign 5. You prioritize wisdom over drama. Let's be honest, drama is everywhere. People gossip, stir up conflict, and waste their energy on things that don't really matter. Some people live for it. They thrive on chaos, constantly reacting to every little inconvenience, always getting involved in conflicts that don't concern them. But a strong woman, she doesn't have time for that. She values wisdom over drama. This doesn't mean she's cold or disconnected. It means she's selective about where she directs her energy. She knows that engaging in unnecessary drama is a waste of time, a distraction from her goals, and a sign of emotional immaturity. Instead of getting pulled into meaningless arguments, she focuses on things that actually add value to her life. She chooses personal growth over pettiness, peace over conflict, and self-respect over validation. Stoic philosophy teaches that wisdom, or Sophia, is one of the highest virtues. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one." In other words, strong people don't waste energy debating or proving themselves. They live by their values. A strong woman embodies this. She doesn't argue just to be right. She doesn't seek revenge over small offenses. She understands that not everything deserves her attention. Think about it. How often do people create problems where there aren't any? How often do they blow things out of proportion, get offended over the smallest things, or let negativity take over their lives? A strong woman refuses to live like that. She doesn't let herself be easily provoked. She doesn't get caught up in other people's chaos. She protects her peace, knowing that true strength isn't about winning arguments. It's about mastering herself. And when she does engage in conflict, she does it with intention. She chooses her battles wisely, knowing that some things simply aren't worth her energy. She values deep, meaningful conversations over shallow gossip. She listens more than she speaks. And when she does speak, her words carry wisdom, not just noise. The result? She moves through life with clarity and purpose. While others waste time in distractions, she builds something real. While others let their emotions drag them into pointless drama, she stays focused. And because of this, she commands respect, not by demanding it, but by the way she carries herself. So ask yourself, do you get caught up in negativity, or do you rise above it? Do you waste time proving yourself to people who don't matter? Or do you focus on what truly counts? Because the strongest women aren't the ones who win the most arguments. They're the ones who know when to walk away. Sign 6. You lead with integrity and strength. Strength isn't just about how you handle challenges or how much confidence you have. It's also about who you are when no one is watching. A truly strong woman leads her life with integrity because she knows that real power comes from staying true to her values, even when it's hard. Integrity means doing the right thing, not because someone is watching, but because it aligns with who you are. It means keeping your word, standing up for what you believe in, and refusing to compromise your morals for the sake of convenience. And in a world where people constantly change to fit in, a woman who stands firm in her values is a rare and powerful force. The Stoics believed that the key to a meaningful life was eudaimonia, a state of flourishing that comes from living virtuously. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." In other words, true fulfillment doesn't come from wealth, status, or approval. It comes from living with integrity. A strong woman understands this. She doesn't chase power for the sake of power. She doesn't compromise her values just to please others. She doesn't betray herself for the sake of temporary success. Instead, she moves with purpose, making choices that align with her highest self. You can see this in the way she treats people. She's kind, but not a pushover. She's fair, but not afraid to set boundaries. She doesn't use manipulation or deception to get ahead because she doesn't need to. Her strength comes from authenticity, and because of this, people trust and respect her. And the best part, she leads by example. She doesn't just talk about being strong. She shows it in everything she does. She uplifts others instead of tearing them down. She stands firm in her beliefs, even when it's difficult. And because of this, she inspires the people around her. not by forcing them to change, but by showing them what true strength looks like. So ask yourself, do you live with integrity? Do you stay true to yourself, even when no one is watching? Because at the end of the day, strength isn't just about what you say, it's about what you do. And a strong woman, she walks her talk every single day. Conclusion. Your strength is already within you. Strength isn't about how loudly you speak, how much you can endure, or how fearless you appear to others. It's about the way you carry yourself in the face of life's challenges. It's about your ability to control your emotions instead of letting them control you. It's about having the confidence to trust yourself without needing constant validation. It's about knowing when to fight and when to let go, when to stand firm and when to move forward. If you saw yourself in these 6 signs, then congratulations, you are stronger than you may realize. And if some of them don't quite resonate with you yet, that's okay. Strength isn't something you're simply born with. It's something you build. It's a choice you make every day in the way you handle setbacks, in the way you treat yourself, in the way you respond to life's uncertainties. Stoic wisdom teaches us that true power comes from within. It's not about controlling everything around you. It's about mastering yourself. And that kind of strength, it doesn't fade. It doesn't depend on circumstances. It doesn't break when life gets tough. It only grows. So as you move forward, ask yourself, how can I embody these traits? How can I cultivate even more resilience, wisdom, and self-trust? Because the truth is, the world needs more strong women, women who lead with grace, who stay true to their values, who inspire by example. And the best part, that woman can be you. Not someday, not when life is perfect, but right now, with every choice you make, every challenge you face, and every step you take toward becoming the strongest version of yourself. So go out there and own your strength, because you are already more powerful than you think.